Sales leaders, listen up. Your people are the product. Sales professionals, listen up. If your employer, if your branch manager does not understand that you are the product, if they are not investing in you, more than likely you're not in sync and you are not in harmony. I got the camo hat on today. That means we're going to get shit done on this episode. Let's talk about investing in our people, and let's talk about, as sales professionals, what type of expectations should we have of our employers. Tune in, take notes, and let's get busy. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children 18 plus, you are tuned in to the Loan Officer Podcast with me, Dustin Owen, and my main man,
JC
John Coleman.
Yo, what's poppin'?
You wearing that Augusta green, huh? You're getting ready for the Masters, aren't you?
Yeah, shout out Augusta, Georgia.
Yeah, Augusta, Georgia, the Masters.
You've
been there too. Yeah, you're the guy that told me it's literally a super fancy golf course right behind a Publix. And there's nothing else to do in Augusta, Georgia.
And survey says
John was right. Ding, 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 ding. Yeah, per usual. Yeah, so we're recording this first week of April. It's actually my wife's birthday.
Shout out Dustin's wife's birthday.
Yeah, shout out to wifey. It was Mark Holmes and Doc Stacy's birthday yesterday.
Same day, yeah.
Yeah, so April 7th is Doc Stacy, Mark Holmes, both integral members of the TLOP team.
Yeah.
We got the Masters coming up. You and I have some travel trips coming up, huh?
I know. I got four trips in 3 months.
Holy cow. Yeah, we're heading to Chicago next week.
Yep.
We're going to go hang out with our guy, Dave Hochberg.
Turn up for a check.
Look, home sweet home. If you're in Chicago, you probably tune into WGN Radio on Saturdays. Dave Hochberg has his own radio show. He's a top producer, been at this game for 20 plus years. We're going to create content with Dave. Mm-hmm. We're also going to be interviewing Dave while we're up there. So it's going to be kind of cool, you and I getting to record from WGN Studios. But then we're going to do something super cool.
What's that?
Do we tell the people now, or do we like tease it?
No, tell them now. Tell them now, damn it.
Tell them now. So TLOP 2.0, right? That's all. It's 2025 is the year of intentionality. And we're actually going to start a new series. It's called TLOP Knows.
Yeah.
So TLOP knows Chicago. TLOP knows Greenwood, South Carolina. TLOP knows Orlando. Who knows? TLOP could come to your market, but it's where John and I are going to explore the city. We're going to create content, and we're going to talk about and cover what it means to live and buy real estate in that particular area. And what we want to do is we want to incorporate other loan originators and other real estate agents within that market. And it'll be about a 20-minute show. We'll do it once a month, and we're going to put it over onto our sister YouTube channel that we are going to be launching later this summer.
There you go.
So, yeah, so Chicago is going to be first. Greenwood, South Carolina is going to be second. More than likely, because it's our home market, we'll pick Orlando or Tampa, maybe both. To be our next markets. And who knows, we could be coming to a market of your choosing if you make it worth our while.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so I'm super stoked about that. And college basketball is now officially over.
Thank God.
Congratulations to the University of Florida. I thought I would never say that, but shout out to all the Gator fans out there.
Gotta get up that last shot. Even if it's a double dribble, gotta get up the last shot.
What's the number one value in business coaching in all of America? Well, simply put, it's TLOP's originator coaching. If you want more information about how TLOP can invest in your future success, go to our website, tloponline.com. That's TLOP online.com. Click the link for our coaching session. See all of our products that we offer. And if you have questions or you want to have a one-on-one with one of our TLOP team members, go ahead and book your free 20 minutes with us and let one of the TLOP team members help you decide which of our business coaching and sales training would work perfect for you. So on my way to the studio, John was waiting on me per usual.
Yeah.
And he overheard a conversation I had with one of my branch managers. And I love to give people a 1 minute
unsolicited
coaching session.
Yes,
unsolicited. Yes, poor Kevin. He probably didn't want it, but he got it. And part of that coaching session, we were talking about units per FTE. We were talking about what is his branch's minimum monthly units, 20 by the way, right? I said anything under 20, y'all need to be looking in the mirror. That's 20 units closing per month, look in the mirror and figure out WTF. Anything over 30 units based on his branch size, they should celebrate, right? And you overheard some of that conversation. You're like, that's what I want you to podcast on. I was like, man, what do we pull from that? And then it helped me. I did a impromptu 45-minute coaching session yesterday. So I had a lady reach out to us. She's interested in joining our team, but like I do with anybody, like if you're interested in joining our team, at a minimum, I'm going to give you career advice. At a minimum, I'm going to give you a free coaching session. If I determine it makes sense for you to entertain joining our team, I'll put you in contact with the right people. But I at least want to make sure it makes sense for you. And at a minimum, I want to give you free career advice and maybe even a free coaching session. And that's what this lady was able to receive. Right. So we introed the episode with, we are in the people business. Like we are. If you run sales for any organization within mortgage, you're in the people business. They are your product. It's not Fannie, Freddie, a DSCR loan. Like, no, that's a program that your product uses to generate revenue. But your people are your product. So if you're a leader in this industry, I need to ask you straight up, what are you doing to invest in your people? Like, show me, don't tell me. It's a system, it's a process, it's a support structure, it's how organized are you in your communication? It's how much do you share and cast your vision? How much are they included in knowing the vision and knowing how they can contribute to the vision, but also how that vision includes them? And then if you're not yet in sales leadership, or you have been and you never want to be again, which there's plenty of those people, you should be asking yourself, does my employer invest in me if I'm their product? And if so, how? And if so, how? And depending on your setup, you should receive some form of investment into your ultimate success. And I think that's what you heard me talking to Kevin about. Like, it started with, he recently just had 2 loan officers on board, right? Shout out to Todd Richards, because Todd was one of the first rookie loan officers I ever hired into the industry. We worked together for about 11 years. Then Todd left our organization, went somewhere else. And then now that we've gone over to lower, Todd wants to be a part of what we're doing. Todd. Yeah, so Todd came back home. So yesterday was Todd's first day. And then we also had this dude, Tyler Wynn, who just joined our team. And Tyler's one of my favorite types to onboard because he is young, hungry, aggressive. He has a high ceiling and a full gas tank. And that's what I look for, people with a high ceiling and a full gas tank. Tyler's a military veteran who has owned his own business before, recently moved to Florida. He's a licensed loan originator, and he wants to put all of his effort and energy into his origination business. So I love the fact that he's an ex-entrepreneur who had built a successful business before. I love my military veterans, and he's one of those people that where he is in life and his career, he has a high ceiling and lots of gas in the tank. So with Todd and Tyler both onboarding, it gave me an opportunity to look at Kevin and have a conversation this morning like, hey, look, these 2 dudes are coming over here because of you, right? It's him and his partner, Patrick. They're coming over here because of you and because of Patrick. These are your responsibility to invest in. I need you to start thinking, what does that look like? Now, because Kevin and Patrick are branch managers that work for my division, I do a weekly coaching call with them. Like, we meet once a week for 30 minutes. Some of my other branch managers, we meet every 2 weeks for an hour. But it's just me and them one-on-one where we can talk about their business goals, their people, and I can act as a mentor and a coach to them. And it's something they don't have to pay for because that's the benefit we get by working as teammates or collaborating together. So you overheard me talking to Kevin where I was just like, yes, let's use Tyler first. I said, Tyler needs not just for you to tell him what to do. He needs to understand why it's important and better yet, how to do it. And I looked at Todd. I said, now Todd, little different. 13 years in the industry versus 13 weeks in the industry. Right? So at 13 weeks, Todd needs to know that you love him, that you appreciate him. And Todd needs to know which of your systems are you going to let him tie into, whether it's your CRM, whether it's into your online marketing campaign, whether it's into some MSAs that you're currently courting, or whether it's this new builder that you're getting ready to sign on. Like, How are you going to support Todd? Are you going to meet with him weekly and do some accountability? Is he looking for that, right? So it's like, what are you doing? And I said, you have 7 loan originators. With 7 loan originators, with you and Patrick both being top producers, with 2 of those 7 being rookies, I go, at a minimum, y'all should be averaging somewhere around 3.5 transactions per month per person. Like, that's just a number when you're running a branch. If a loan originator is not doing 3 loans per month, they're not full-time. They're just not, or they're not good. Now, you may be new, and it's okay not to be good if you're new, right? Someone who's been doing this for less than 2 years, if you're not yet funding 3 loans a month, that's okay, because we all need a place to get started. I mean, it took me 6 months before I ever closed my first loan, and I wasn't funding at least 3 loans a month until my second full year. I mean, I literally went from... got into the industry in June. First funding was like in November. Then my first full year would have been 2005. I guess I probably would have maybe funded 20 loans in all of 2005. But by 2006, over 100 loans. Like literally that's how that leap went. So when I'm coaching Kevin and his partner Patrick, and they both produce and they're both top producers, then my number for them was, you need to do at least this many units per month, on the low end 20 as a branch, on the high end 30. And there's originators out there that laugh because they themselves are doing 20 loans per month. Now, it's not just them, it's them. They probably have 2 juniors. They probably have an LOA and a dedicated processor. But under their NMLS, they're doing 20, 30 units. Kevin and Patrick, I'm super happy for them when they do 30 units a month as a branch, because that means Patrick and Kevin are each doing their 5 to 7. They have their 2 rookie LOs that are somewhere between 0 and 2 because they're still building their business. Now, those rookie LOs are the future of the company. They are the future of the branch. And then they have some of their more veteran loan originators who maybe these men and women are totally happy funding 3, 4, or 5 loans a month, at which point you start adding it all up. Well, it gives you 20 to 30. But when talking to Kevin, I'm like, bro, what are you doing to invest in these guys? It's very important to their success as well as your success. So then it reminded me of a conversation I had with that recruit yesterday. And this recruit has been in the industry for a couple years now. And she was explaining to me some of her frustrations. And some of her frustrations ended up becoming my frustrations. And it wasn't her fault, but I'm like, how has nobody told you this? Like, how have you been doing this? And this is a highly educated person who had a very successful career prior to mortgage, has transitioned into mortgage, and just hasn't been told, like, not just what to do, because she knows what to do, but like how best to do it. And that ended up being like an impromptu coaching call where I found myself having to slow her down because she wanted to explain to me everything that she's been doing. And I'm like, you've never had somebody invest in you, have you? You know what her answer was, John?
What do you mean?
Yeah, exactly. What do you mean?
Huh?
Well, she's like, well, I get on all the product calls. I'm like, you're the product. No. She's like, well, we just rolled out this new bank statement loan. We had this new construction loan. We had this new HELOC program. I get on every single one of those. Cool. I said, but if you don't have a lead, what good are all those programs? If you don't know how to go and build the right relationships that generate the right leads, if you don't know how to convert the leads, then how good is all that? Well, they just taught this really good class on how to calculate self-employed income. Again, if you don't have a borrower who has a job, let alone owns their own company, why does you knowing how to calculate self-employed income ever going to matter? Plus, what I've learned is that I can learn how to do something, but if I don't put it into practice pretty quickly, all that knowledge was a waste on me. I was like, wow, you got people that don't understand how to best support you. So I ended up telling her, I said, look, you work for a really good company. She does. And I started naming like 5 other companies that are really good companies. I said, it sounds like you don't work for a really good leader. You don't work for somebody who's investing in you, understanding that you're the product. More importantly, as the product, her job, we just did a training video on this. We posted up into our into our e-learning platform that all of our members have access to. I said, it's your job to get a lead. That's your job. Every single day, it's your job to get a lead. It's not your job to get conditions. It's not your job to do a pre-qual. It's not your job to be a part of that product rollout call. Mm-hmm. It's your job to get a lead. Everything else is a task associated with what you get to do next once you've done your job.
Getting a lead is hard and difficult, and it's much easier for me to go to all these meetings and feel productive rather than doing things that are difficult.
You know what? That is a lot of people's crutch. I think, I remember the first guy I ever mentored, I knew quickly he wasn't going to make it. And he didn't. Super nice guy, like great family guy, ended up with a great career as like an EMT, firefighter, paramedic. Mm-hmm. Mortgage is not his jam. And I knew that because I was only like 2 years into my career when I signed up to be a mentor for this guy. I asked him what he did all day, and he showed me the best Excel spreadsheet
you've ever seen,
with every program and product and the hot spots and the gotcha moments and the like who would be the ideal client for this product. And I said,
you ain't got no clients, mother.
Yes. I said, none of this matters if you don't have anyone referring you business.
Yeah.
If you're not talking to any borrowers, like none of this matters. Mm-hmm. But what I recognized, he had call reluctance. Mm. He didn't have that fire in his belly to get after it. And this is what made him feel accomplished for the day.
Right.
So no, I'm going to get back on the story of my recruit because she doesn't have that. She has bad direction.
Okay.
But you did remind me that something I said to someone recently that would probably resonate to your person. I straight up told someone the other day, it's on a coaching call. They paid me money to be able to say this to them. I said, you're not broke enough. I go, you're not hungry enough. You're not starving. I go, because if you are starving and if you are broke enough, you wouldn't be asking me these questions. Because somebody who ain't eaten in 3 days, who hasn't paid their rent in 2 months, they don't need somebody to light a fire underneath their rear end. Like they're going to go attack the day as if it's their number one priority because it is. And sometimes most of us don't act like we're hungry. We don't act like we can't pay our bills. And we probably need to get into that mindset that, holy shit, if I don't do my job, I'm not going to be able to eat today. If I don't do my job, I'm not going to pay my bills. So this person I was talking to, no, she was like doing the right things, but the wrong ways. And I'm going to give you some examples. And this is what a good sales leader should know because they're meeting with their people at least bi-weekly, if not weekly, because they're invested in their success, because they're getting to know them as people, right? Like that sales leader should know her husband's name, her daughter's names, what schools they go to, what activities they're in, because we are in the people business, right? That's the business that we're in. So I'll give you an example, John, of what she told me she had done when she entered the industry. When she entered the industry, somebody, i.e. probably this podcast, had shared with her that she needed to reach out to her circle of influence. Like we call it, who do you send holiday cards to? Who would you invite to your Mac Daddy wedding?
Yeah.
And she did that.
Nice.
Except for she didn't do it with the right intentionality. And the person who she's working for should have known she didn't do it with the right intentionality, and they should have been able to take some corrective action way sooner than her finally getting to me to talk to me. And here's what she did. And y'all may want to take notes to make sure that you and your people are doing this activity the right way. Because kudos for doing the activity.
Right.
Like that's half the battle. Cool. You got a 50% on that paper. It's still not a C.
Yeah.
Like you still don't even like pass.
Yeah.
You still fail, but you did it. And doing it gives you more opportunity to not do it, right? Mm-hmm. You could turn in your homework and there's a chance the teacher takes it nice on you and gives you a 70, or they still give you a 50. If you didn't turn it in, you had no chance of it being graded to a 70. So she at least did the assignment. But what she did is she reached out to all of her friends and family, and she basically said, now that I'm a licensed loan originator, I want you to please keep me in mind anytime you're looking to purchase real estate, know someone who's looking to purchase real estate, or you need a new home loan or an equity line. Okay, crickets. maybe some hearts, maybe some thumbs up, lots of people leaving her like unread.
Right.
And she said to me, "Oh, I just don't get it. I did what you said to do." I said, "No, you didn't. You did not." And maybe I talked about that on a podcast, but I sure as hell don't talk about that when you coach with me. Like you coach with me, I would have told you straight up. You reach out to every single one of those people and you say, "I need your help. I need your help." You may or may not have seen this, but I recently went all in on my career as a mortgage loan originator. I'm a licensed originator, and my job is to network and add value to real estate agents, home builders, and financial advisors. Who do you know? Who can you connect me with that is a real estate agent, a home builder, or a financial advisor? I would love a warm introduction so that I can go meet with them and look for ways that I can bring value to them, their business, and their clients. That's what she should have said. Because who do you know can't be just hearted? Who do you know can't be thumbed up? It's like, no, I'm asking you a question. Please connect me with somebody. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm not saying that 100% of her people would have responded, but I am saying she may have gotten 30 responses of the 200 messages that she sent. And those 200 responses at that point would have had names of people she could contact. At that point, it would be a triangle of trust kind of referral, because it's not a cold call where now she can reach out and now go on to phase 2 of her of building her business or breaking through a barrier. If you're more established, now she has to go have 30 face-to-face and one-on-one meetings with potential long-term referral sources. Now, while she was reaching out to her circle of influence, 100%, she could have said, "By the way, now that I'm full-time and licensed, you have someone you can trust in the industry. Please know you're never going to bother me when you reach out with a question regarding real estate, personal finance, or housing. That's what I'm here for, and I will always have your back." But she swung and missed because she didn't have a good human who was investing in her, who recognized that she's the product. And more than likely, her good human was so focused on his own personal production that this other person, it was an afterthought, right? It was like literally the redheaded stepchild, because he's focused on trying to get his 20 or 30 leads generated, and he's focused on making enough money to pay his bills so that he doesn't go hungry and so that he can pay his rent, which is always the slippery slope of having a producing manager, always. Now, we love producing managers for so many reasons. It's great to have a field general. It's great to have someone in the trenches. But at the same time, it's why I coach this boot camp called Boost, because I have found it's very difficult. I did it for 15 years, being a top producer, a great leader, and a great manager. I find most branch managers can be great at 2, but not all 3. And then somewhere in that mix, you have to throw in recruiting because you're trying to grow your branch, or if you're not growing, you're dying. So you can either grow by helping each originator generate more leads and fund more loans, or you can grow by adding more people who are going to tie into your systems, your processes, and they're going to go out and themselves generate more leads. And that's where we circle back to. Either way, you got to invest in people, right? If I go out and recruit you to come work for me, you're only going to work for me because you like how I operate and you like how I take care of my people. So I'm in the people business. Or if I don't want to go out and recruit, but I'm a producing branch manager, John, I then have to figure out, how do I help each of my originators generate more leads to fund more loans? Well, that means I have to be in the people business. And that's what the inspiration of today's episode was, just a reminder to all people, y'all are in the people business, especially if you're in sales leadership. Now, even if you're not, if you're a loan officer, you're in the people business, right? Your realtors, your referral sources are people. Your business is helping them achieve their goals, right? That's your business. And if you're not in sales leadership, you need to recognize that your employers are in the people business. And when you're making sure, do I have the right employer? Ask yourself, does your employer or your leader, your sales leader, invest in you? Because there's lots of great companies, but sometimes there's not lots of great leaders. So there's the slight call to action is internally, when you have that conversation with that man or woman in the mirror, you need to ask, if you're in sales leadership, are you doing a great job of investing in your people? If you are a originator, are you investing in your people, i.e. your referral sources? Or if you're an originator and you're contemplating, am I working with the right people? Ask yourself, are they investing in you? If the answer is yes, then more than likely you're with a great organization and a great group. If the answer is no, you probably should first start with a hard conversation with the people that you do report with and advocate for yourself. And if that doesn't work, that's when you could potentially look at entertaining opportunities elsewhere.
Well said, Dustin.
Well, John, thank you so much. That was a great little, inspiration that you tossed out. Good show idea today.
That's what I'm here for.
Yeah,
J to the silent Bob or something.
Yeah, I appreciate everything that you're doing, John. And I appreciate everyone tuning in. Like, it's crazy. We just celebrated our 5-year anniversary, our 5th birthday, yet we're just getting started. Like, literally, we're just getting started. I mean, I go out and travel.
It gets Dustin irritated so much when he travels people and there's like 8 people in the crowd. I'd be like, I fucking love T-Lop. But there's like 80 more people like, what's T-Lop? It fucking chaps his ass.
It's challenge accepted. Challenge accepted. Because, yes, I do travel more than I'm used to traveling. I love doing it, and I love going to these conferences and speaking on stage and bringing the energy. And hopefully, giving people some inspiration to go out and make positive changes in their business. But yeah, I spoke to 115 people. There's about 25 of them love T-Lop.
Love you, Dio. We love you, man.
T-Lop.
Love you, man.
Yeah, and I love it. I love the pictures. I love it when they post about it on social. Like, I freaking love it.
Yeah.
Plus,
however,
when you post about it on social, I don't have to. I just have to share what you did, and so you make my job easier. But then there's like 90 other people like, I didn't know who you were. Like, and I'm like, how do we change that?
Probably
how do we change
a low
that?
producer.
No, probably not. Probably not. So that's my ask of all of y'all. If you enjoy tuning in, man, don't keep us a secret.
Yeah. Continue
to share us. And if you do want, need, or are looking or entertaining for coaching, yes, we offer it.
Yes.
That's probably my second annoyance. I mean, I appreciate it. Like, you keep me level. And you're like, Dio, you should appreciate the fact that someone loves the podcast so much they're reaching out asking if you coach. But I'm like, if you love the podcast so much.
Do you not realize how people these days individuals are very intelligent. People collectively are stupid as hell, Dustin. Just remember that.
But I'm just curious, like, every week I get a message. Do you offer coaching? I'm like, bro,
Dustin,
do you not tune into the show?
How does that make you feel? It's in your bio on LinkedIn. It's in that little blurb, like coach. It says coach. The words on the website say coach. So then it's not on you, Dustin, to be like, bah humbug, what did I do wrong? If someone's like, it's like when people go to McDonald's, like, what's on the menu? It's like, bitch, you ain't never been here? Order 2 double cheeseburgers. Get the fuck out of my way. Come on, man.
Yeah, so I love it. I absolutely love it. I think every time I travel, and 20% of the audience loves T-Lop, and 80% are like, hey, WTF, who are you? Well, remember challenge accepted.
First time we were in Vegas, there was a couple people in that room. I don't know how we snuck in there. The Palms thing. Remember when we did that? The first Vegas?
Yeah, we paid money.
Oh, yeah.
We got a sponsor, and we paid money. That's John. That's how yeah, we paid money.
It takes money to make money.
It was like $5,000.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Plus we paid for our own hotel. We paid for our own flight. We don't pay for our own flights and hotels anymore. If y'all want us to show up to your event, yeah, you better come correct at a minimum with money for a hotel.
We bootstrapped that whole thing. But think about then, there was like a couple people like, yeah, I've heard of you. We didn't even call it T-Lop then. It was still the Loan Officer Podcast.
Yes.
Now you're doing things, big man.
Yeah, that would have been September of 2020. 2022.
Jesus.
September of 2022. So here we are in April of 2025.
Yes,
so roughly 30 months later.
Yes.
30 months later, yeah, you and I fly Comfort Plus or better, and we don't pay for it.
We finally made it, Dustin.
No, we haven't, because I go to events and 80% of the room is like, who are you? Because we have a podcast that people love, yet it's still the best kept secret in the mortgage industry. And the listeners who love it still reach out and say, hey, do you do coaching? And I'm like, we only do coaching because of the podcast.
It's like 7D Ranch being like, hey, can I ride horses here?
Yes.
It's like, did you not read the fucking pamphlet?
Yes. Yeah. So anyhow, y'all, we appreciate you. We love you.
Yeah.
We love what we get to do. We can't wait to continue doing this. We are just getting started, and you can help us keep this ball rolling by sharing us, by visiting our website, by signing up to receive our free weekly newsletter. And you can hook me up by sliding into JC's DMs if you can find him online and tell him to get rid of that creepy alien music at the beginning of the show. On that note, he's John Coleman. I'm Dustin Owen. You just tuned in to this episode of the Lone Officer Podcast. That's all the time we have for you today, but we do look forward to catching you on the next episode. Peace.